Hello, welcome to Lazada Insider, featuring knowledge that makes a difference. We share trusted insights, forward-looking perspectives, and exclusive expert interviews to keep you ahead of the curve.
Hello everyone, welcome to Lazada Insider, Winning the Beauty Digital Shelf Special Series, and I'm your host, Chen. Many Southeast Asian consumers are becoming more conscious of their beauty product choices. They do not want to jeopardize the health of people or the environment for skincare results. In today's Lazada Insider, we will deep dive into clean beauty category to explore what the key driver of the sector growth are. Who are these shoppers? How clean beauty brands can avoid greenwashing? What top trends will shape the sector's industry in the next 1 to 2 years? I'm very happy to be joined by our expert guests. We have Lian, a new startup founder. We have Melissa Wong, Regional People and Content Marketing Manager from Synagie. And we also have Billie, Business Development Manager from Burt's Southeast Asia. Welcome to Lazada Insider. First of all, maybe Lian, you can start share a bit more about yourself and your new startup.
Hi, I'm Lian. So I am the founder and creative director of a floral studio called Lian and Floral Atelier, and a jewelry brand called Aweness Jewelry. Why I'm here, because you might think that what has someone doing jewelry and flowers got to do with this topic? But okay, so I have spent about 20 years also on top of my businesses in the media, in publishing. So my last full-time employment was with Floral as the editor. So quite familiar with the beauty scene in Singapore and the region.
Thanks. Melissa?
Thanks for the introduction. It's really a pleasure to be here today on behalf of Synagie. I'm Melissa Wong, and I lead the people and content marketing team, working closely with Lazada and brand partners on social influencing and live streaming projects to drive traffic and consumer engagement to support business objectives.
Thank you. Billie?
Thank you, Chen. I'm Billie from Burt's Southeast Asia. So I've been with Burt's for over 5 years, and sustainability was always, I was always interested or wanted to supportive of sustainable beauty or anything sustainable. So I was really happy when I joined Burt's It's really a good company, a good brand, and thank you for having me here.
Sure. Thank you for the introductions. We will first start the discussion by defining what is clean beauty. Melissa, from your opinions, can you help us to define what is clean beauty, and how would you describe the current state of the clean beauty industry in Southeast Asia?
I think there's really no legal or official definition of what clean beauty is in the industry. There's really many brands with their own definition of clean beauty. I think, well, to put it broadly, clean beauty refers to products that are created without ingredients that harm the body and has transparent labeling of ingredients. So as we have all witnessed, clean beauty is in a thriving category that has really taken over the beauty world by storm. And there are really more and more clean beauty brands out there emerging in the market. So this in itself is also fueled by the rise in eco-conscious consumers in Southeast Asia, as more and more people are showing interest in health and sustainability. So with consumers getting more educated and informed, coupled with the ease of online research, they are also doing a lot more research before making a purchase. Like, for example, I myself, as a mother of 2, I actually suffer from eczema. So I have this constant fear of exposing my children to harmful ingredients that are absorbed through my skincare products as I'm still breastfeeding. So this has also prompted me to research and seek out natural or clean products that are safe for my children, and also to avoid allergic reactions as well. Yeah.
Thank you. So I think Melissa had talked about one of the answer part of my next questions to Lian. So who is the typical clean beauty shoppers?
So before we categorize any skincare in whatever categories we want, whether it's clean or whether it's doctor's brand or whatever, the most important thing for women we have to bear in mind is the efficacy. So naturally, if the efficacy part is fulfilled, yes, then it matters to them how clean and how natural the ingredients are in what they're putting on their body, because we know that, you know, our skin is actually the biggest organ on our body. So we want to make sure that we consume as cleanly as possible. So it could be your millennials, from your young to older millennials who are in their early 40s now. They are in the know, they have the spending power, they want to know what they're spending on. So that is definitely the key audience of the clean beauty consumers. And definitely the Gen Z who is up and coming, about they're outspoken, they know what they want, they know what they do not want. And, you know, as with any companies or any businesses, that is also the market that you definitely want to capture, because that is the maturing market, the one who is getting increasingly financially independent as well.
Billie, I'm really curious to understand a bit more about your company. What prompted your company to embark on a journey of a clean beauty?
Or well, for Burt's Bees, we've always, like, even before the clean beauty trend, Burt's Bees was always clean. I mean, it was always about reconnecting with nature and living in harmony with the planet. Like our founders, Burt Chavez and Roxanne Quimby, they had this I guess like a hippie mindset that they really wanted. Like they lived with no electricity, no running water. It was really like working with what nature has to give, and you know, not harming the planet. So it's always been like that for Burt's Bees. The planet is still something until now that's in our business model, like not to harm, like whatever is good for the people has to be good for the planet also. So I think it's great that now people, the consumers, are being more conscious of how they are taking care of the environment while they're taking care of themselves also. I think that's great. And I'm happy that, you know, I mean, it works for Burt's Bees that we've already established that even before the clean beauty came into the beauty scene.
Thank you. Lian, we understand that in Southeast Asia, there are still some room for improvements in providing transparency in the beauty industry. And of course, we observe some greenwashing events as well. So in your opinions, so how the clean beauty brands can navigate through this?
So yeah, it's really learning to be more transparent. I think honesty, people don't realize how much all of us, whether we are customers or not, how much we appreciate honesty. If say, you know, your product is clean, categorized as clean because it fulfills the minimal requirements to make that benchmark, then just be honest about it, and it's fine. It's totally fine. Some brands, they think that okay, just because our packaging is recyclable and, you know, we can do refills and examples like that. You know, they say that we are a sustainable beauty brand, which yes and no, but you know, it's a bit of a gray area. But I think at the end of the day, they just have to be candid and honest about it. And even the ingredients, you know, we all know that certain ingredients have a more scientific name, and which can be very confusing for laymen. So, and sometimes we get waylaid by, or we see the scientific names and are like, okay, you know, our eyes glaze over. So if they could just break that down and just be honest, what is this actually? I think that would definitely be a lot more helpful and a lot more, it really helps the conversation get going.
Yeah. Anything to add on, Billie?
Yes, I agree with Lian. Transparency is very important. If you are a clean beauty brand, the consumers appreciate, you know, since they want to know that they make an impact, how they make an impact to the planet. You have to be transparent with them. You can't simply put like recyclable packaging, or sometimes the logo or the background has some trees or some greens in it. So I think there is a difference between greenwashing and green marketing. Um, so when you are a brand that promotes clean beauty, it's not just consumer facing. Like the company has, like the regular operations, day-to-day operations also have to practice that, being eco-friendly to the planet, or um, where they source the ingredients and everything. So it's just, I think consumers will know if it's just green for the sake of being green, because that's where the money is now. But I think they really do appreciate it when the brands um, communicate their green efforts or sustainability efforts.
Melissa, so from your opinions, how can clean beauty brands best leverage both online and offline channels for additional business growth? As we know, consumer shopping behavior becoming more omni-channels nowadays.
I think like what going back to what Lian and Billie has mentioned, consumers are really getting more and more skeptical about like product claims, and they really tend to, and going back to what I've mentioned earlier about how they really do more online research before purchasing online or even offline. So like for us, in the online channels, without the support of beauty advisors, it becomes very integral for brands to be very consistent and clear with the messaging, whether it's internal or external itself. And you really need to take on the important role of educating your consumers through providing transparent and clear information about the brand's ingredients, the product's ingredients, the benefits in all the various touch points, whether it's online or offline. So when it comes to people and content marketing, which is pretty much my field, clean beauty brands really needs to engage the right influencer or expert to lend their voice of authority and utilize all the different solutions, for instance, live streaming as an engagement tool to educate consumers and really build on the credibility.
Cool. Last but not least, I'm going to ask to all our three experts, what are the top 2 trends you anticipate in the clean beauty industry over the next 1 to 2 years? Maybe we will start with Billie.
I think maybe we would see, and I think we're seeing it now already. Now the brands are focusing on the ingredients. Before, maybe it was like their call outs in the stores and online, and even online would be like recyclable packaging, or I know, being eco-friendly. But now they focus on the ingredients, and there's a story for that ingredient. So I've seen like let's say Sika ingredient. Now when you say Sika, before you wouldn't, people wouldn't really, they know, oh, it's for anti-aging, it's for sensitive skin. But now they focus on the ingredient and how it's beneficial for your skin. So I think that's a beauty trend that we're seeing now, and it will even be bigger probably, as we find more ingredients that are good for the skin, and of course not harming the planet while the beauty brand source for these ingredients.
Yes, so what I think could be coming up, it's been sort of looming already in the last 2 years, is actually what I find quite fascinating is halal beauty and also TCM. So they also fit into the clean beauty category because, you have to go through pretty strenuous regulation to get your brand certified halal as well. And it has to be devoid of certain ingredients. So I think that is an interesting trend that is coming, especially we have such a huge Muslim population in the world. The next is TCM. I'm a huge believer of TCM, not just in beauty, but in medicine or like in body treatments. And if you really believe in the ethos of TCM, I don't see why it can't be shifted into like the clean beauty realm as well.
Got it. How about you, Melissa?
Adding on to that, I think it was brought up in a previous conversation. So One thing that I've also noticed while working with like a few brands is really the concept of refill and reuse in terms of your packaging. So a lot more and more beauty brands are really adopting this refill and reuse model. So they encourage consumers to upcycle their empties instead of just chucking it away. So they could just, reuse it maybe as a light holder or even like jewelry box holder and stuff like that. And then the other trend that I've also noticed is called Blue Beauty. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. So, South Korea is pretty much a beauty innovator. So then I think there's actually an increased research being done to actually talk about waterless beauty, because brands are formulating products with no or minimal water. And this is really to address the global concerns of climate change and water scarcity. Yeah.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you very much for your insights.
This is Lazada Insider. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you click follow and subscribe so you don't miss our latest insights and expert interviews. Thanks again for joining us. Until next time, take care.